Can see me? Can someone confirm that I'm on the screen? Yes, okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 98th annual meeting of the National Braille Press. I'm Danny Hurst, Board Chair of the National Braille Press, and on behalf of our trustees, our incredible staff, and the entire NBP community, I'm delighted to welcome all of you, both those joining us here in person in Boston and those of us who are tuning in virtually. Tonight, we're excited to share some important updates and recognize individuals who have played a key role in advancing our mission. This evening's program includes welcoming returning new trustees, honoring outgoing trustees for their invaluable service, welcoming new members to the Friends of NBP, a special tribute to Chris Devon, providing an update on the state of NBP, and celebrating the contributions of our volunteers. Before we get started, I would like to read a testimonial from one of our Braille readers. Rosalind Hoffman, who's a member of our Braille book club, dropped us a note to say, I just wanted to say thank you for allowing us to be part of this club. My son and I love flipping through the books. He is 2 and sometimes surprises me how long he will sit for a story. He loves them, and I really appreciate getting to share the joy of opening a new package each month with a book just for him. So it's a very nice testimonial. We'll now go on to some board announcements. First off, we have a returning trustee, Kate Crohan. We're thrilled to welcome her back as a board member who's rejoining us after a 1-year break. Kate has been active with NBP since she joined in 2018, where she has served on the development committee, participated in our gala videos, and has been an active team member of NBP's Braille Across America event. Kate, welcome back. Next, we have some new trustees. We are pleased to introduce 4 outstanding individuals who are joining the board for the first time. Please join us and welcome Erica Bowden. Erica has been a dedicated volunteer with National Braille Press through Liberty Mutual since 2018. She leads annual book projects and has served on NBP's Gala Auction Committee, supporting the organization through both event planning and hands-on service. Erica holds 2 casualty actuarial certifications and earned her BA in Applied Science from Worcester Polytechnic Institute. Next, we have Mark Lally. Mark is a U.S. Army veteran, father, and passionate advocate for Braille literacy and accessibility. His connection to Braille began when one of his twin daughters, who is blind, started reading through National Braille Press's book club. Inspired by her experience, the family became active supporters of Braille literacy. In 2024, Mark competed in the Boston Marathon through NBP's charity program in the hand cycle division, raising a record-breaking $34,000. An amazing feat. Although a shoulder injury sidelined him in 2025, he still raised over $10,000 and plans to return in 2026. Mark doesn't let much stand in his way. Welcome, Mark. Karen Lavieri Sanchez is a seasoned advocate for people with disabilities. As a director at Voya Cares, she applies her expertise in marketing and communication to elevate Voya's commitment to the disability community. She plays a strategic role in shaping Voya's Centers for Excellence, helping establish the company as a thought leader in disability inclusion and accessibility workplace practices. Karen has participated in many of Voya's employee volunteer events, helping to assemble books and other products for NBP. Welcome aboard, Karen. Mary Ellen Pease has over 20 years of leadership in student health and insurance. She is currently Vice President of Operations at UWill, where she helps drive strategic growth in student mental health support. Her previous roles include CFO of Aetna Student Health and leadership positions at Christie's Campus Health and the Chickering Group. Mary Ellen holds a BS from Boston College and a JD from Suffolk University Law School. Welcome, Mary Ellen. In addition, we have some outgoing trustees, and we are deeply grateful to these trustees who have completed their 6-year term of Board of Service. Your leadership and commitment has helped shape the direction and impact of mission. Our heartfelt thanks go out to you all. Now, I'll turn it over to now you'll hear about their contributions. For the rest of the program, I'm going to turn it over to our president and CEO, Brian McDonald.
Thank you, Danny.
Oh, there you go. When I'm not talking, I can see the room.
Welcome, everyone, and thanks for coming tonight. Hi. So first of all, we have an amazing board, and I want to reference those that are, as Danny said, cycling off for their 2-3-year terms. They've all been amazing, and I'm very gracious for their support. First is Mary Frances Berry, and the plaque says, National Braille Press recognizes Mary Frances Berry for your years of service as investment chair, trustee, and executive committee member. We appreciate your leadership in guiding our investments committee and thoughtful questions and comments. We're grateful for your impact you have had on all of National Braille Press's events, from securing auction items to introducing new people to our work. Your ambassadorship makes a big difference. Erin Connors, who's here tonight. Erin, I want you to come up after this. We're going to take a picture. National Braille Press recognizes Erin Connors for your years of service. Thank you for your unwavering advocacy, prolific fundraising, and diligent board service. Your ideas, feedback, and get-it-done attitude help elevate our development program. You set the standard for what a Boston Marathon fundraiser should be, which is definitely true. So please come up. We want to give you this award in person. Is that beautiful?
I love that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sure.
The light okay like that?
Thanks, Bunny.
Yeah,
I love this. Thank you so much.
Next is Sherry Hutchison. You're going to have to come up too, Sherry. All right. National Braille Press recognizes Sherry Hutchison for your years of service as a vice chair, development chair, executive committee member, and trustee. Thank you for your extraordinary commitment, support, and participation in NBP's events, and your energy and enthusiasm shine on all of us in our commitment for Braille literacy. Please come up, Sherry. There's a step up right there. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
I know.
Craig.
Does that look good like that?
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get to keep. Paul McLaughlin is next. National Braille Press recognizes Paul McLaughlin for your decades of service as a board chair, finance chair, and trustee. Your sage advice and accounting skills have guided NBP with our finances, audits, and investments. For 43 years, your steadfast commitment to the press is remarkable. Thank you. Paul isn't here tonight. We will get him his plaque. Jill Noble. National Braille Press recognizes Jill Noble for your years of service. Thank you for your relentless advocacy and board service on our development and capital campaign committees. Your willingness to share your story with our community truly helps shape our work. Your passion for our mission helps drive us. So that's another one that isn't here, and we'll get that to her in the near future. Next, we want to talk about Friends of National Braille Press. In 2021, we changed our bylaws, and now trustees that cycle off our board automatically kind of go on to the Friends group unless they don't want to, but that doesn't happen. But we have that happen, but we also have people that aren't trustees that are just friends and supporters that we add to this list as well. So it used to be members of the corporation. Now it's Friends of National Braille Press. So this year, please join me in welcoming Mary Frances Berry, Erin Connors, Sherry Hutchison, Paul McLaughlin, Jill Noble, and George and Aaron Malley. George is already on. Aaron, his wife, is now joining. Nancy Plessier, Roger's already on as well, but the spouses are joining. Glenn and Lindsay Romero, are they here yet? There you are. Thank you. And Herb and Susie Tobin. So let's have a round of applause and welcome you to our Friends group. And as we said earlier, we want to do a tribute to Chris Devon. Chris, I'd like you to come up here now, and I want to. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Yeah, I have it here. I was looking for stuff here. Are you kidding me? There's no edge there. Hold on. Oh my God, Chris, we're gonna have to redo this. We can still take a picture though. It slid right off the podium. We have this on film? No. Oh my goodness, all right. That didn't happen. We're still missing by that. All right. Yeah, I'll share it. How embarrassing. All right. So Chris, that's where it's not a comedy yet. Chris, come on up. I'll help you, Chris. Let me give you a hand here.
It's a DIY problem.
Hello. Let me have no Jimi Hendrix double wacko here. Right here? All right. All right. So first of all, Chris, I want to give a little intro to you. So Chris Devon has almost worked 5 decades at National Braille Press. He's the cornerstone of our organization. He began his career as a proofreader on September 9th, 1976. And over the years, he has acquired unmatched experience and knowledge in the field. He has trained many of our Braille proofreaders and on formats and changes to the Braille code over time. It is estimated that he has proofread over 836,000 Braille pages up until today. I didn't use AI, I swear. Reading periodicals, NBP's original publications that we produce, and books for the Library of Congress. We also refer to Chris as the human archive of NBP. His memory is scary, uncanny, not just for historical knowledge of the press, but with Boston sports, US history, politics, and world history. Needless to say, he's won many of our trivia prizes at our outings. Chris was also a recipient recently of the Carroll Society Award earlier this month. Chris, we're presenting you this plaque, which is broken, that we'll read. I'm kidding. All right, hold on, sorry. National Braille Press proudly presents the Years of Exemplary Service Award to Chris Devon in recognition of your remarkable 17,822 days, nearly 49 years of dedication and service to National Braille Press. For decades, your contributions have left a significant mark on our mission, whether through your mentorship or steadfast commitment, and you have helped bring literacy, independence, and opportunity to thousands of blind individuals across the world. Your passion and perseverance have made you a true Braille all-star and champion. So thank you very much, Chris. We'll take a picture with a broken thing if we can get away with it, and then we'll fix it soon. But then I want to talk to you a little bit more. Now, I'm putting the mic down, and hopefully it won't slide off. So, Chris, I want to talk to you for a minute. So been here a long time, much longer than me. And I'd like to get your feedback on all the time you've been at NBP. What things do you recall that would either come to mind from an event that happened or possibly something relating to the jobs or the way things worked at NBP or even technology? What to your thoughts or come to mind from your almost 49 years?
Okay,
I can hold it, or you can hold
where's-
it if you want, yeah.
yeah, sure. Okay. I think the most important thing that happened and the most revolutionary thing happened in December of 1978 when we started to use the PED, and the PED is the plate embossing device. And before that, we had transcribers who would just sit at what you would call big Braille writers, big metal machines. We still have one at NBP, and they would transcribe, but they could only transcribe maybe 25 pages a day. But then we got the PED, and it meant that you could, at that time, they could type the material into the computer, run it through the Duxbury translator, and then put it on, well, paper to proofread, and then on plates, and those could be run on the press. The first thing that was done on plates was our special, probably for December of 1978. And the first thing that I remember reading was the New York Times Large Type Weekly. We used to do that for the Library of Congress. It was in Braille, but it was also in large print, so they called it the New York Times Large Type Weekly. And the first story was the horrible shooting in San Francisco. You remember in 1978 where the mayor was killed and the city supervisor and Dianne Feinstein became mayor. And that was the first, so that just shows you how far back that was that we did that. So that opened up all the doors, and now we do all our Braille with computers, and it's a whole other thing, so much faster and so much easier. Now things are scanned in and, other ways. So there's all kinds of ways to access it. But at that time, before that, you just sat there and brailled it like you were brailing on a Braille writer.
Talk about memory, right? I mean, you just saw an example of it right there. And also, I'll just add, those PED machines, we finally replaced like a year ago with new German technology, but we ran them for a very long time, and they actually ran on DOS. You talk about how old they were as far as the system that they ran on. It's insane, but that's amazing. So tell me, another question I think our audience would like to hear your thoughts on are, what would you give for advice to a parent of a blind child or someone else that's losing their vision later in life?
Well, I think Braille is very important. I think we have good examples of that here in this room. Our new proofreader, Paige, who grew up with Braille and has been a Braille Challenge winner at the Carroll Center, came all the way. I didn't know she was from Connecticut. She used to come up an hour trip every time that that contest was held. The thing is that anybody who's losing their vision, even if it's an adult, you could use Braille in a minimal way. It seems, but you use it for yourself. You can label things of that sort. But there's also the idea that so many parents are a little resistant to say, well, they're going to read that book with all those bumps and they're not reading print, that have some vision. The problem is that a lot of people don't keep that vision. They either, if they have RP or something, retinitis pigmentosa, they're apt to lose the vision. The other thing that can happen is there are many people that I grew up with who had vision. I didn't, but many people did. And they would lose that vision in their 20s, 30s, or 40s. And they were very glad that somebody made them learn Braille, either at Perkins or in public school or wherever it was, because they were still able to function. And most of the blind people, there's a high unemployment rate among the blind, but most of the blind people who are employed are Braille users, and that has been statistically proven. So it's very important for people's future to learn Braille.
Thank you, Chris. That's great. And we'll get you a new one, I promise, before you leave tonight. But thanks very much. We'll help you go this way. Exit stage. Wow. I've never done that before. I feel like, I said I'd never done that before. I feel like an idiot. I can't believe that happened. But anyway, congratulations, Chris. It's a remarkable career, and your knowledge is, as the audience saw tonight, amazing to see. So at this point, I kind of give a state of the state of NBP a little bit. So, but we have a lot going on. Before I even go any further, I do want to do one thing and thank all of our employees for their contributions at National Braille Press. But in addition to Chris, there are 7 other employees that have worked for NBP, ranging from 24 to 36 years of service. I just want to mention the names. Tracy Reynolds, Kit Nem, Kim Tan, Elizabeth Bouvier, all in the 30 to 36 year range. Marcia Cronin, Danusa Leskeves, Anthony Grima, all in the mid 25 year range. So we just have an amazing group of people that stay for a long time, and that knowledge they have is really crucial for a succession and for other people to learn from them, as Chris has done his whole career pretty much. So I thank all of them for that. And I do also want to thank our board. Our board of trustees are incredible. I'm very lucky. They are so committed, dedicated, that support me, but also the programs that we do to ensure that Braille literacy can grow and thrive for future generations. So I always like to give a shout out to them for their strong commitment. And thank you very much for that. Well, most of you know that Braille literacy for children is one of our primary mission elements that we focus on. Since our meeting last year, we have continued to provide 320 families free memberships to our historic legacy program, the Children's Braille Book Club, or CBBC. This has been capable thanks to 2 grants that had joined together to give a 5-year commitment to the program. And a 3rd foundation later has now made a promise to pledge to support it every year going forward to fund the CBBC. Our longtime goal is to make this program permanently free for families with dedicated funding that we can rely on. So I'm grateful for that. It's a key element in the success of Braille literacy for children and young readers, and we're very happy about it. I also mentioned in the past that we had started a program for teachers of the visually impaired, or TVIs. We had completed a 2-year study, also funded by 2 major donors together, one being the Gibney Family Foundation, and the other was Reader's Digest Partners for Sight. Last summer, I presented at the International AER Conference on the survey data and feedback we had from TVIs on these Braille Ignition Kits, is what they're called, these teacher resource kits. Based on the popularity and advice we received, we're getting ready to do some tweaks and updates to the kits, and we're actively fundraising now with the hope to also make this a permanent part of our program to support teachers going forward. Over the past 2 years, we have been working to increase our production. Our capacity has to grow, and especially for the Braille and tactile work that we do. We've been hiring more staff, which are doing great. They're cross-trained to run a lot of the equipment down in the basement and operations that we do. And we also have been investing in new machinery to increase production, but also redundancy, and if we're trying to have one break or do 2 jobs at the same time. And I'm proud to say, Chris mentioned Paige, we have 2 new proofreaders that we just recently hired, which is really exciting because that's such a skill that we really have a lack of across the whole country. So welcome, Paige, to your first annual meeting, and she's sitting in the back. Raise your hand, Paige. I'll embarrass you. Thank you very much. One of these items that we did acquire is an industrial grade flatbed UV ink printer. It produces ultra high quality resolution on the print side, and it also does excellent Braille, raised tactile letters, and graphics for ADA signage. Some of you might have seen on the easel over there and some of the displays we have, those were printed on the UV ink printer. The big, large 2x4 one is actually from a job we completed for the Northern Indiana Transit system that goes from Chicago through the South Shore line of Chicago into Northern Indiana. It is not public yet, so if anyone took a picture of it, you have to delete it. They said we could show it internally in our private little meeting, but we aren't allowed to publicize it yet because it was supposed to open June 1st, and now with construction, it's going to be like October. So we're sitting on that. We wanted to do a joint press release, but now we have to wait. But anyway, it's a great device. It has amazing potential, not just for ADA signs, but also for B2B jobs and things that we can do with corporations. And its capacity is even to do textures like football pigskin or an elephant, to feel things that you might not ever get to feel in real life. And we have the capability not just to use it for ADA science and business to business, but even for our own programs and our publications department, if we think of certain cool things we could do with it. So we're very excited about it. It's an amazing investment. We recently just went into a national conference on the ADA last week in Atlanta, and we had over 50 interests already in it. We already did a job for somebody that we're doing. So I think it's a great market for the future, because what I care about is it gets Braille out in the public. And the one thing I will say anecdotally is when we talk about doing this work, I found from speaking to our blind staff and people I know that are not at NBP, often you find that the Braille signs on a hotel room or in a public system or in a transit building are wrong. Like, I can tell you in a major hotel that I won't mention in DC, the room numbers are wrong for one of our customers, and it's totally incorrect. Now, the print is right, but the Braille's wrong. And it also happened in a public building where the men's and ladies' room in Braille were reversed. So you can imagine what that feels like if you walk into the wrong restroom. But one of the key kind of benefits we're pushing on with this market is we are the Braille experts. So when we produce a sign, it will make it right. And that does resonate with the people we met in Atlanta last week, because they have trouble with that. So we're very excited. We did that job. The first job we ever did was City of Lawrence City Hall. When we first got the machine last May, we gave that to them. But we're excited about it, and we think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to grow, get more Braille out there, and make a great opportunity for everybody. Okay, I want to reference our development team led by Joe Quintanilla, who is right in front here. They've done a great job with fundraising events as well. September 30th last year, we had our first annual golf tournament, and it was a fun at Indian Ridge Country Club in Andover. It was a fun and very successful event, surpassing what we had thought for fundraising expectations. We had a great luncheon program, all the golf contests, but we added a blindfold putting challenge that ended up in sudden death. I mean, I can't believe, a sinking putt to get into sudden death. It was like unbelievable. But people had a lot of fun with it. Tara was here and others that participated. So it was really a great event. We also had a successful gala last year at Fenway Park at the 521 Overlook. The Boston Marathon from this past April, we had a team of 7 that raised over $73,000 for us combined. So our events have been great. We did Braille Across America then, which is always a fun event to do between our birthday on St. Patrick's Day and when the marathon starts. That's the window of time where you have up to that window of days to run a marathon, walk a marathon, ride a marathon, or more. But it's a nice way to get out and do something for NBP. This year, we're ramping up for events now. We'll be doing a Braille and Brew sometime this August. Our second golf tournament will be September 29th at Indian Ridge Country Club again. Those that want to get foursomes, it's on our website now, and you can start signing up. We have the gala again at Historic Fenway Park. It's a great venue. And this it'll be on November 13th, Thursday. Mark your calendars for those that are interested. This year, we'll celebrate our 20th year of doing A Million Laughs for Literacy as the theme for our gala. I can't believe that, 20 years. And the comedian is Dimitri Martin, who is, some of you may know him. He's very funny, so we're very excited about that. Our publications department continues to do great work with our periodicals we do, our Children's Braille Book Club, which I mentioned. But we also do great original publications written by blind authors, specifically for blind people. Right now, there's one out that Judy Dixon has done, who's a really well-known author, and she's had an amazing career herself. The Power of AI on the iPhone, Apps and Other Useful Features for the Blind User. It's a huge seller going out like hotcakes. It has AI is everywhere, as we all know, but this highlights 18 apps on the iPhone, plus a few features and services that can support the blind and low vision. Of course, I have to mention, and there's children here too, but we're also doing a popular right now, summer cocktails and mocktails. Get fresh, get fruity, get frozen. Even how to make a beer gargarita, Chris. We can do a Miller Lite margarita beer. So, but anyway, it's a great year, past year, great year going forward. We're very excited where we are, and I'll stop there because we want to get into our volunteer awards as well. So at this point, as you had heard, the heart of our mission are our volunteers who give generously their time and talent to support our work. Many corporations do it, and families and individuals combine to do it as well. And to present the awards this year, I'm going to ask Joe Quintanilla to come up and take it from here. Watch your step there, Joe. The rule is on top.
Yep. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Zoom or here in Boston. So it is my honor to present the volunteer awards today. I have the easy job. I want to acknowledge Rich Gilreath, who runs our volunteer program and works with our production team to get every material ready for our volunteers, instructs the volunteers, make sure that they're keeping in line and that they're following directions and getting our book projects complete. So Rich, thank you for your hard work on that. So first we're going to present our group volunteer award. This year it goes to Voya Financial. And the reason why we're honoring Voya with this award is because over the last 4 years, they have helped put together over 1,800 books, thousands of alphabet cards, thousands of refrigerator magnets, and they've had volunteers from Massachusetts, Connecticut. We even had volunteers in Georgia. So they were prolific in their fundraising. They always want to choose us for their volunteer service day. Additionally, in 2023, Voya employees raised over $16,000 for our December Children's Braille Book Club. Voya's commitment to Braille literacy, access, and to people with disabilities is at the top of any corporation that you would look at. Their service is just not words, they do it. And with that, I want to welcome Ginger Brennan and Karen Lavieri Sanchez to accept this award. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ginger, you're going to say a few words?
Yeah,
What you?
I just want to say thank you. And I also want to recognize my father started with the National Braille Press back in the 1980s. And this was a very special organization to him. And I'm honored to continue the legacy as a trustee, but even more importantly, so 4 of his 5 kids are here today. So my sister Peggy, who lives in Lexington, my brother Peter, who is from Healdsburg, California, and my brother Chris, who's from somewhere way up north of Minnesota. So, but we also last year created a book in honor of the 10th anniversary of our father's passing. But as far as Voya, it's an incredible company. I'm on the board right now. Karen is with Voya, but also joining as a brand new trustee who just got elected today. So congratulations. So we're looking forward to continuing the legacy, and we can't think of a better organization to serve. So thank you.
Give you a clap.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next volunteer award is the Sue Amater Individual Volunteer Award. For those of you who don't know Sue, she was a trustee for 6 years, but a longtime volunteer for National Braille Press. She was one that rolled up her sleeves, gave every ounce of energy she could for Braille literacy and advocacy. And it's my pleasure to present this award to Jack Clancy, who will ask to come up in a couple seconds. Jack is a friend that I've known since 1996. And the way I got to know Jack was when I was a student at Boston College and I was looking for an internship. I had gotten an internship at a top 40 radio station. And when I went in for our meeting, I had not told them that I was blind, but when I went in to meet with the producers, they started to ask all kinds of questions about how I would do things. And I gave them my answers as to how I do it. Braille was a part of it, labeling carts and DATs, things that probably don't exist anymore. And they said, okay, great. We'll call you in a week and give you your time. They never called me. I called back multiple times. They never returned my calls. So a year later, I was with a production professor and he mentioned a company called Berkland Productions and that they were always looking for interns. And I called and spoke with Jack and I heard about what I was interested in doing, told him the kind of classes I'd taken. And he said, great, why don't you come and meet with us next week? And we'll talk about, whether it's a fit. And I said, okay, but I just want you to know that I'm blind. And he said, so? So the rest is history, as they say. I learned a lot by being an intern with Jack about telling stories, both in video and audio form, producing videos, which I've used in my work over the last 25 years. But I've also used Jack in my work for the last 25 years. Jack has been an advocate for the blind community and over the last 14 years for National Braille Press, from doing videos to promote our Read Books programs to editing our gala videos, editing the gala itself into links and forms that we can put on our website for different clips. And he does this all pro bono. If you're looking to have a video done, it's generally going to cost anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000. The money that Jack has saved us because of his care of our community and our interest in wanting to have equal access for blind kids to have reading materials is amazing and impressive. And we're going to just show a 2-minute snippet of the most recent video that Jack helped produce that we showed at our gala. It's a reading of Click Clack Moo, one of our children's Braille book clubs over the 40 years that we selected, where we had multiple generations read this book. And the things that Jack had done is he went to people's homes to do the shoot. He had people send in video clips that then he had to edit from different formats. I should also say, one of the first big projects, and I mean big in the sense of it probably took a lot more time than he realized, is during COVID, we had our first virtual concert. It was called Beats for Braille. And we had 17 performers send him different clips of them performing songs in all kinds of formats. And he just had a lot of labor that they put into it, but it came out great. Similarly, when we had our virtual gala, he put together a great video of a performance that Braille readers put together musically. Again, they all were in separate locations, but you wouldn't know that by his expert editing and producing. So now we're going to show a little bit of the Click Clack Moo video, and I'll step away.
Good cow. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets. No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today.
No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo.
The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows.
So if you want to know what happens, you got to buy the book. NBP.org. Go to the bookstore. So it's my honor again to present the Sioux Amateur Individual Volunteer Award to Jack Clancy for your editing expertise, directing, producing, to really advocate for our work and telling our story and really empowering the blind community. So thank you, Jack. You want to say a few words?
Say a couple words.
Okay. All right. Oh, one more photo.
Liz.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's step aside for a second. Just a couple of things. I've known Joe a long time, great friend. We've done a million things together. When I was in the military many, many years ago, they always told you never, ever, ever, ever volunteer for anything. Oops.
Yeah.
So if you know Joe Q and you happen to have been in a committee meeting with Joe, and I think a few of you had, he's fairly headstrong. Joe has an opinion. He gives it and he sticks with it. He's like a dog on a bone. And if you stick your hand in there, you're going to lose your hand. Joe's tough, optimistic. He believes anything can be done. That's what I love about him. He helped me run the Boston Marathon when he was with another organization to raise money. I tore my meniscus a couple of weeks before it was, well, I guess a couple of months. And he said, well, let's see what happens. He was training me with via fax and phone calls, right? And so he had run a million marathons himself. Marathoner, Joe, really incredible. But I blew out my meniscus and it was really killing me. And there was only 2 or 3 months left. And I said, Joe, what do I do? He says, take time off through the holidays. Let's see what happens in January. The physician said, I can't really fix your meniscus in time for this. So he said, Joe said, well, if you can run 10 miles by January, we might be able to pull this off. Fundraising, it's a perfect spot for him, by the way. January came around, I kind of was able to pull it off a little bit, and he convinced me to do it. And he said, it's only going to hurt every other step. Anyway, so he's a good guy that way. So I truly enjoyed working with Joe. And he also reminded me of a program that goes along with National Braille Press in a lot of places where when you pass away, you can give your assets to your favorite nonprofit organization. And Joe kind of reminded me, like, you're not getting any younger. I have to remind you, Joe, that, usually the husband and wife have to make that decision. And if my wife is in on it, she wants to give it all to cat shelters. So you got your work cut out for you there. I love the Braille Press. Everybody I've ever met here is wonderful. The people downstairs working hard. I didn't notice any air conditioning down there. Have they got any air conditioning down there yet? Oh, good. People that work their tails off down there and they do a great job. And obviously Brian and all the folks in the admin and everything have been wonderful. And I've truly enjoyed working with the folks here and will continue to do so because you can't say no to Joe Q. You just can't. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Let me hear awards.
All right, now I'm going to ask Brian McDonald to close out the evening.
Oh, it's already done.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. I'm just going to give you an update. Chris Devon has a new plaque in front of him, completely fixed. Thank you to my assistant, Alma, who ran back to NBP to get another frame. So thank you, Alma. Yay. My embarrassment's a little bit better. All right. First, congratulations, Voya, and many thanks to Ginger Brennan, and I'm glad her family are here today. I will tell you, Ginger, you are the super glue that brought Voya and NBP together. And Karen has a big job to keep it going, but thank you so much. It's great. I look forward to seeing your siblings. I know Peggy, but I haven't met your brothers. So thank you for coming, everybody. Also, Jack, what an amazing tribute. You deserve more. And thank you so much for everything you've done for us. I really appreciate it as well. I'd like to close by thanking individuals and corporations and volunteers and donors for supporting our work for Braille literacy. I want everyone to know that we do not get funding from the federal government or state governments for support. We have to earn it the old-fashioned way, through our mission work, through our Library of Congress work, and for our tests and textbooks we do. And yes, we make money from some of that through contracts, but it's not like we're just getting money handed to us in any way. So everybody at NBP knows that. And we've done a great job over the years of, growing and maintaining things. And it's really important, but we don't receive that. And your individual giving, I need Joe to get up here to say nobody can leave the room, but your individual giving and fundraising efforts, both private and family corporations and foundations also, makes a significant difference. And it allows us to continue supporting the work we do for Braille literacy that we could not do otherwise. I mean, yes, we do a good job of running our operations, but donations are really critical. And we thank all of you for coming here tonight, for supporting us. And the last thing I'd say, if you haven't done it before or you have friends in town, we do tours of NBP. When you see how Braille is made or tactile graphics are made, it's actually pretty fascinating, the equipment, and you learn how labor intensive it is to do something like this. So we've had school groups, we've had individuals, we've had VIPs, but whatever it is, everyone walks away fascinated and have a better understanding how important Braille is as well. So thank you all for coming tonight. We appreciate it. Safe travels if you're driving or commuting. And thank you so much for everything. And thank you. Have a good night.